Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, procession enters the hall.
الكرم يا ربي بالمصطفى بلغ مقاصدنا واغفر لنا ما مضى يا واسع الكرم آمين.
Honorable guests, brothers and sisters, let us together recite Asma'ul Husna, followed by Negaraku and IIUM anthem.
نسألك يا من هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر الخالق البارئ المصور الغفار القهار الوهاب الرزاق الفتاح العليم القابض الباسط الخافض الرافع المعز المذل السميع البصير الحكم العليم اللطيف الخبير العليم العظيم الغفور الشكور العلي الكبير الحفيظ المقيم الحسيب الجليل الكريم الرقيب المجيب الواسع الحكيم الودود المجيد الباعث الشهيد الحق الوكيل القوي المتين الولي الحميد المحسن المبدع المعين المحيي المميت الحي القيوم الواجد الماجد الواحد الصمد القادر المبتدئ المقدم المؤخر الأول الآخر الظاهر الباطن الوالي المتعالي البر التواب المنتقم العفو الرؤوف مالك الملك ذو الجلال والإكرام المقسط الجامع الغني المغني المانع الضار النافع النور الهادي البديع الباقي الوارث الرشيد الصبور الذي ليس كمثله شيء وهو السميع البصير اللهم صل أفضل الصلاة على أسعد المخلوقات كسيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم عدد معلوماتك ومداد كلماتك كلما ذكرك ذاكرون وغفل عن ذكره الغافلون.
Thank you. Please be seated. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Honorable Professor Emeritus Tan Sri Dato' Zulkifli Abdul Razak, Rector of the International Islamic University, Malaysia. Associate Professor Dr. Zulkifli Hassan, Deputy Rector, Student Development and Community Engagement and Chairman for Ta'aruf Week. Respected University Management Committee Senate members, directors and Mahalat principals, Madam Hafsah Muhammad Yusuf, Director of Student Affairs and Development Division and Deputy Chairman for the Ta'aruf Week, Brother Muhammad Nur Firdaus bin Muhammad Hairin, Program Manager for the Ta'aruf Week, brothers and sisters, new students of IIUM, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and a very good morning. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya wal mursaleen, wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. In the name of Allah, most gracious and most merciful, praise be to Allah, the cherisher and sustainer of the worlds, and blessing being on our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, his family and his companions. Brothers and sisters, throughout the duration of the Ta'aruf Week Semester 1 2021-2022 intake, which is conducted online, your time has been occupied with many events which are beneficial to all of you. Through those events, you were able to reap many fruitful benefits and much experience, not only for personal use, but also to be disseminated to the community outside of this university. However, during this crucial time for all of us due to COVID-19 global pandemic, adapting to the new norm with the practicing of existing SOPs, wherever you are, is desperately needed. And Alhamdulillah, praise be to Allah, for with His mercy, now after 6 days of Ta'aruf weeks, that seems too short of a time, here you are being a part of the prestigious Bai'ah Ceremony as the highlight for the closing of Ta'aruf Week Semester 1, 2021-2022 intake. Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, to gain barakah for today's auspicious event, I would like to call upon Fadilatul Ustaz Mas'ud Ridwan from the Department of Quran and Sunnah, KIRKHS, for the recitation of the Holy Quran. Fadilatul Ustaz سيتلو علينا ما يتيسر له من سورة الحجرات ابتداء من آية 18 فليتفضل مأجورا.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. يا أيها الناس إنا خلقناكم من ذكر وأنثى وجعلناكم شعوبا وقبائل لتعارفوا إن أكرمكم عند الله أتقاكم إن الله عليم خبير. قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا ولكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم وإن تطيعوا الله ورسوله لا يلتكم من أعمالكم شيئا إن الله غفور رحيم إنما المؤمنون الذين آمنوا بالله ورسوله ثم لم يرتابوا وجاهدوا بأموالهم وأنفسهم في سبيل الله أولئك هم الصادقون قل أتعلمون الله بدينكم والله يعلم ما في السماوات وما في الأرض والله بكل شيء عليم يمنون عليك أن أسلموا قل لا تمنوا علي إسلامكم بل الله يمن عليكم أن هداكم للإيمان إن كنتم صادقين إن الله يعلم غيب السماوات والأرض والله بصير بما تعملون صدق الله العظيم.
صدق الله العظيم. جزاك الله خيرا كثيرا فضيلة الأستاذ مسعود. Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, to kick off our event, I would like to direct your attention for a montage presentation prepared by the Ta'aruf Week Committee.
It's the thought of being when your heart stays like a drum, beating louder with nowhere to guard it. When it all seems like it's wrong, sing along to our joy into that feeling we're just getting started. When the nights get colder and the rhythm's got you falling behind, just dream about that moment when you look yourself right in the eye. And you say, I wanna dance with music's got me going, nothing that can stop our move. Yeah, let's make our plans and reaches like we're golden, rolling like we're dancing fools. We don't need to worry, 'cause when we fall we know how to dance. Don't need to talk, just walk, don't walk tonight. We don't need permission to dance. There's always something that's standing in the way, but if you don't let it fade, yeah, you know just how to grip, just get the right vibe, yeah, 'cause there's no looking back. There ain't no one to prove we don't got this on lock, yeah. The wait is over. 수많은 일에도 멈출 수 없는 건 변하지 않는 너. Yeah. 시간이 지나도 놓칠 수 없는 것 We'll never let you down. 또 지나치고 많은 순간 속에 자라는 의심의 끝에서 겁나지 나를 따라가면서 같은 시간 틈 사이에 고해 한없이 마음을 쏟았던 그곳은 언제나 함께 Stay with me. You were the one I need, so you just take my hand. I hope you smile. And there is something smile. Stay with me, you are the one I need. So you just take my hand, I hope you smile.
Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, moving on, I now have the distinct pleasure to respectfully invite Honorable Professor Emeritus Tan Sri Datuk Zulkifli Abdul Razak, Rector of IIUM, to deliver his speech. Please welcome.
Thank you very much, Brother Joe. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu syafil anbiya mursalin Sayyidina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Associate Professor Zulkifli Hasan, Deputy Director of Student Development and Community Engagement, and also the Chairperson of the Takruf Week. Honorable University Management Committee members, Senate members, Directors and Mahala Principals, Madam Hafsah Muhammad Yusuf, Directors of Student Affairs and Development Division, Deputy Chairperson of the Takruf Week, Brother Muhammad Nur Firdaus, Muhammad Khairin, Program Manager of Takruf Week for Semester 1, 2021-2022 intake, student committees, brothers and sisters, fellow students, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Indeed, it gives me a great pleasure to be here today in another auspicious occasion of the Bai'ah Ceremony. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for graciously allowing us to be here, although in a situation which is quite different from what it used to be when we can do this in person. Nevertheless, the spirit is the same. We would like to welcome the students to the university officially after completing the Takruf Week. And I indeed am very pleased also to note that the quality of Takruf Week has moved from time to time. And this year, I'm told that there are many volunteers from the faculties and also lecturers who volunteer to be facilitators from this Takruf Week and moving on. This is a good indication that we are working together to ensure that this university is in a good situation and living harmoniously among each others, not only among students, but also staff and students alike. Indeed, this is the purpose of the Takruf Week, so that you can be inducted into another community which is quite different from the community that we are used to. This community is a community that is highly integrated in the context of nationalities. We've got more than 100 nationalities in the university, and therefore we need to also learn how to live integratively with different cultures, different people from different countries, so that we'll maintain the harmonious and the living standards of a Muslim Ummah, which is a kind of a typical experiment that the university is trying to do. I would like on that note to welcome all of you, particularly students from abroad. And I'm told there are about 221 of them coming from abroad quite directly to the university. And indeed, you make the difference as far as university is concerned, not only among Malaysians, but also universally, taking people from different countries, different contexts, learning together in this university. I hope you have enjoyed the Takruf Week and also will go on practicing what the Takruf Week teach you or guide you to make this university a better and a distinctive university. Indeed, I think this university is very proud to host you in the bigger family of the IIUM community, because this is a university that wants to create an example of what a model successful Muslim Ummah is concerned. This is a constant challenge for us as we see some of the ummah around us is not doing very well. Some of them are decaying under wars and pressures and all sorts of other social challenges. Yet we want to come out with a model that could mean a lot to other people when they talk about Islam, when they talk about Muslim living together. And therefore, it is imperative for us in this university, being a learned community, being a community that is more conscious and also being more open to many of the ideas that we can demonstrate to people outside, among us, particularly the Muslims, that we can live together harmoniously, we can live together in peace. We can also move away from all the things that has been harassing the Muslim community for a long time. In other words, the division, the kind of dissension, and the kind of hatred sometimes that we create among ourselves. This university is quite determined to do this, and therefore the Ta'aruf Week was designed for you to understand what living together is all about, what making good civilizational cultures is all about, and how we can do this in the context of education and beyond education, so that we hope as you graduate from this university, you will be that role model wherever you are, that you will symbolize us what Islam is meant for us in terms of its high value, high moral standards, and also high living standard in the context of a civilization to come. The world is under challenge. Everybody now is looking for a new model. And that model, I think, is something that all of us owe to ourselves to demonstrate to the world that we have got a model that can work. We can have a model that could bring everybody together in the context of Rahmatan lil Alamin, which to me is a special word for this university. No other university that I know around the world talk about Rahmatan lil Alamin, mercy to all, and that includes the non-Muslim, the non-humans, and also the environment around us. In that sense, I think this university is a very august university. It is not just international, it is global and universal at the same time. And therefore, we must demonstrate that these values are within us and we are capable of realizing it, not through difficulty, but part and parcel of our lifestyle, the organic way of making it, because that is inherent in Islam itself. These are great demands. These are things that we are not told to when we are in schools, but yet in the university, we need to realize this. And the Ta'aruf Week, I hope, will launch you into a kind of thinking that will make this happen quite immediately the moment you interact with one another, the moment you learn about each other, and the moment we decide that we can do this together. So I would like to thank all those who are involved in making this Ta'aruf Week a success, making it better than it was yesterday or the year before, and making it also in harmony with the mission and the vision of the university. At the end of the day, this university is about realizing the vision and the mission of the university. And the vision of the university, again, is very different from the mission of many universities that we know. We talk about the betterment of human life. We talk about a civilization that I think many university has not talked about because they are very caught in their own environment, in their own national boundaries, and in fact, in their own geopolitical thinking. We want to break through those. We want to make sure that we can embrace more people inclusively within the university, and hence we need to understand also the 7 mission of the university. I will not go into the 7 mission of the university. I'm sure by now you have heard about it, but I want to emphasize 3 that we are now working on very hard. That is, first one is mission number 5 that talks about we need to live like an international community. International community means it's of international standards. In other words, that everybody can aspire to. It is not a Malaysian standard that other people perhaps are difficult to adjust because it's very localized and very much more for the local students. But we want to talk about an international standard that everybody can adjust to because it is international in its nature, that it covers beyond boundaries and beyond cultures and so on and so forth. The other one is mission number 6, that we talk about intercultural dialogue. Yeah, being in a campus with more than 100 countries, we need to start talking to one another. No two countries are the same. The countries are different because their origin is different. Their values perhaps are quite different from us. And the way they transact life maybe is different from us. Although we are Islam, but sometimes our cultural baggage makes us different. And we need to understand those so that it becomes something that we can accept, and sometimes we can adapt so that the harmony and the peacefulness within the campus is maintained all the time. By creating those understanding, by going deeper into just values of, at the surface, we need to find it deeper in the context of what it is all about. Words like sejahtera has something meaningful to us in Malaysia, but the same word exists in Africa. It is called Ubuntu. The meaning is almost the same. It may be the pronunciation, the terminology is different, but the moment you get into the common understanding of what Ubuntu and sejahtera means, then we can begin to live together in the context of being human in a balanced and harmonious way. And therefore, we want you to discuss about this, to make sure that you are in touch with one another and understanding deeply, not just on a superficial basis, not the way you dress. Sometimes when you talk about culture, it is just more about the dressing, the food you eat, the kind of the greetings that you convey. I think we need to go deeper than that. If you can imagine an iceberg, the surface that you see is 10%. The dress, the food, and everything else that you see is that 10% that is above water. We need to understand the 90% below water. And that's where the discussion, the dialogue needs to come in a very, very consistent way so that it can be part and parcel of our, assimilation with one another. And I'm quite sure the student union, I'm quite sure many other student committees that are involved in this kind of activities are quite capable to organize this dialogue very frequently so that it becomes a part of our second nature in trying to understand one another. I'm very pleased, in fact, I think 2 nights ago, when we had a discussion on adab. I think there are more than close to 1,000 people participating, although it's quite late at night. And the quality of discussion among students are very of high standards. The quality of questions is very high standard. And I think we are capable of bringing this up. At the moment you have this kind of a discussion organized among students, taking the premise that we have got and moving it into another level so that we can be seen as not only intellectually matured, but also emotionally and culturally sensitive over what's happening into us. So I hope this Takruf Week will inspire you to look into things of this nature. It may not be academically relevant in the context of your course, but believe me, these are the ones that makes you a different person the moment you graduate from this university. This will distinguish us from the other universities around us, be it in Malaysia, be in your own country, and be it globally. And that's, I think, the thing that we want to create in this university. How do we remain distinctive? How do we remain different? Not because we want to be different, because our aspiration is different, because our value system is of a higher standard. Our moral standards are something that people can just envy because we have taken it internally into our way of life and the styles that we want to adopt for the world to come. There are many things, therefore, brothers and sisters, fellow students, that you can think of. And I hope the Takruf Week has made you realize that it is more than just an orientation of 6 days. In fact, I think the orientation of 6 days is just the beginning. I think whole life for 4 years in this university is about orientation. Orientation for what? Orientation for you to move out into the bigger society. It is a small society that we can experiment and make mistakes. Because we are still students, we are learners. But the moment you step out of this university into a larger society, global as it is, we are not supposed to make any more mistakes because we have learned as much as we could. Because we have now become a role model, because people know who we are and what we stand for, and we need to walk the talk. It is too late then to learn. But then already sometimes the damage is done. So learn as much as possible. The university is flexible. In our new courses now, we allow the student to be empowered. We believe that the student has got their own wishes and aspiration to make, and therefore we empower you to realize those. It is not just about the university, it's about each and each and every one of you, trying to realize your own dream. You may want to be an engineer, but you may also want to be an artist. You can do one that does both at the same time. Yeah. In fact, I've got a student now who is a law student, but she's also a fantastic poet. She has written a book and she's writing another book. And I'm encouraging this. Not because you're a lawyer, you cease to be a poet. You can be both. And we will be very happy to find that there is a poet lawyer within our midst. And this kind of talent is what we call empowerment. And this empowerment is for you to decide what you want to be and how you want to be and the way you want to do it. We leave it to you because we think you know best. Yeah? By the end of the day, this empowerment must have got a sense of responsibility. And so we also call on you to be accountable. To be accountable means to say that there are things that we cannot do because it is within the ambits of our own religious belief. There are certain things that we cannot do, and it is not for us to actually venture into those areas. And these are universally accepted. Cheating, corruption, plagiarism, harassment, and all those things that now the social media is coming to realize that these are the things that we need to prohibit ourselves, control ourselves, to make sure that we live within the boundaries that is allowable, so that we are seen to be responsible, accountable at the same time, while we promote empowerment, flexibility, and innovation. Yeah? I just want to bring this across. I don't know whether we can think about it as a future sort of project. I think right now the discussion internationally is about social media, particularly Facebook and Instagram. I don't know these things. I just read about it. I don't have it. But I'm told now there are now criticism over some of this media that use it for profiteering at the expense of the human dignity and also human livelihood. And people are now having, for example, a tagline called FB locked out or lock off. Yeah. In other words, people are now being critical over should you participate on a media that do not bring value to you as a human person, that talks about just profiteering, that talks about just money, that talks just about, a segment of a people rather than the whole segment of Rahmatan lil Alamin, as we want to talk about. Yeah. For Instagram, I heard what was reported last night, that they create a sense of inferiority among certain group of people. And the news that I heard is about ladies. Yeah, young ladies are pressured when they see these pictures of Instagram to behave the way it was presented in Instagram. Dressing, for example, they're pressured to dress the way they want to dress. Their body makeup, for example, they're pressured to live up like what was presented in Instagram. In other words, these people are telling us what to do, sometimes beyond the ambits of our own values. Yeah. For example, if we talk about hijab, some people do not wear hijab in Instagram and they are pressured to do those things. So I hope these are the critical points that you want to realize and tell our students, while social media is good, but there are limits to it. That you don't go into full swing, you don't go lock, stock, and barrel, you don't go and sell your own beliefs, your own value, and indeed your own dignity to this kind of a platform. I think that's the role of intellectuals. That's your role, so that you will educate the generations of your kind, that there are limits to certain things. If you can create your own social media, it's even better, a positive one that just promote about positive living and so on and so forth. So these are the challenges that I hope you will think about, not just to come here for your degrees. Inshallah, you will get your degree. I can bet you. Yeah, this university's record is so good that people come here, most of them will come out with flying colors. But come up with flying colors alone is not enough. You need to come up with flying colors as a human being that is responsible, that is accountable, that's also holding the amanah that we often talked about as we sing the song, Leading the Way. Where is that amanah that you hold? It could be a small thing like switching off the lights, yeah, but it could be bigger things in trying to safeguard our own dignity, our own way of life, and our own set of values. Those are the realm that you need to adjust and play accordingly as a group that you're collectively, intellectually prowess. I think you can do this, but you need to set your mind into this rather than just doing it for the sake of doing it without realizing the higher values of what it is. Okay? So I would like to stop there, but I would like to remind you that all of us has got this challenge to make this university a university that all of us are proud of. Keep the university name first. All of us will come and go. The university will stay. Right? You will graduate and you will leave the university, but this university will stay. The name of the university will stay. It doesn't matter who we are or where we are. And therefore, the first order of business is to look after and safeguard the name of the university so that when people talk about an Islamic university, they will refer to IIUM as the model. Be it Muslim or non-Muslim, they know. And in fact, now we are beginning to receive people wanting to do postgraduates here, people want to take their degrees here, and we are happy that they come. We only want that to demonstrate what they see and what they hear outside is something they will experience when they come into the university. And that means all of us must play our role to make sure that the conducive environment is maintained, if not made better, from time to time. So I want to welcome you once again, and I hope you will enjoy, and I'm sure you will enjoy. Make sure that this university lift up to this standard, and make sure you also contribute accordingly to the university. There's nothing more that we can do except to pray and supplicate to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the blessings. Unless there's a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all these things will be in vain. Yeah. So the barakah, the blessing, the hidayah, so that it opens our heart, so that the divine intervention will make it happen and easier for us, so that we will live in a very peaceful and harmonious way, the way Islam has promoted as be the best ummah around the world today. So congratulations to all of you. Congratulations to the students committee, and congratulations also to all the facilitators who have, I'm told, volunteered for this. And we really cherish and honor this. And we hope you can keep this tradition going from time to time. And of course, we look forward to better improvement and some of your constructive criticism that can make it be better in the next ta'aruf to come, inshallah. So on that note, wabillahi taufiq wa hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Have a nice, happy living, and also look after yourself in this COVID environment, inshallah. Thank you.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Thank you, Tan Sri, for your inspiring speech. Honorable guests, brothers and sisters, we have now come to the highlight of today's ceremony, the Bai'ah pledge being taken by the students.
Up. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Under oath. Under oath. In the name of Allah. In the name of Allah. The Creator. The Creator. Master and Sustainer of the universe. Master and Sustainer of the universe. We. As a student. As a student. Of the International Islamic University Malaysia. Of the International Islamic University Malaysia. Solemnly pledge. Solemnly pledge. That we shall. That we shall. At all material times. At all material times. Uphold. Uphold. The good name. The good name. Philosophy. Philosophy. Vision and mission. Vision and mission. Of the university. Of the university. And obey. And obey. The university rule and regulations. The university rules and regulations. And the laws of Malaysia. And the laws of Malaysia. Perform. Perform. Duties that are obligatory upon us. Duties that are obligatory upon us. And to promote. And to promote. The spirit of peaceful coexistence. The spirit of peaceful coexistence. In commanding right. In commanding right. Above all form of polarization. Above all forms of polarization. Animosity. Animosity. And hatred. And hatred. Among students. Among students. and community. Committed to lead the way for our family and the community by living in accordance with the Islamic way of life and guided by the principle of Maqasid al-Sharia. Seek and translate knowledge by upholding the principle of truth and justice in nurturing universal equity, dignity, and harmony among humankind, irrespective of ethnicity, belief, or geopolitics. We hereby acknowledge and understand that if we breach any of the above mentioned undertakings, including the provision in the Constitution of the University, action can be taken against us.
Now I would like to invite the Bai'ah leader, Sister Nur Atasha binti Rosman, to present the Bai'ah scroll to the Honorable Writer. Honorable guests, brothers and sisters, please rise. May I respectfully invite Tan Sri Rector to accept the scroll and declare his acceptance of the Bai'ah and for the declaration of new intake students.
Thank you. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I proudly hereby accept the declaration of the students' oath, and you are now proudly declared as the IIUM students, inshallah. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tan Sri. Please have a seat. Distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, to conclude our ceremony, we would like to invite Ustaz Shahrul Hisham bin Izhar from Sultan Haji Ahmad Shah Mosque, IIUM, to recite the closing dua. Tafaddal mashkura.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض وهو الحكيم الخبير والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين اللهم أنت ربنا لا إله إلا أنت خلقتنا ونحن عبادك ونحن على عهدك ووعدك ما استطعنا نعوذ بك من شر ما صنعنا نبوء لك بنعمتك علينا ونبوء بذنوبنا فاغفر لنا فإنه لا يغفر الذنوب إلا أنت. Almighty Allah, Lord of mercy and beneficence, bless this IIUM Bai'ah Ceremony 2021 with your pleasure and mercy. O Allah, Lord of bounties and infinite, shower upon us your divine guidance, that our work and deeds be done in completeness and excellence. Assist us, O Allah, in fulfilling our obligation and seeking your pleasure. O Allah, bless our gathering here today and make us disperse in peace and in protection from sin. Allahumma ighfir lana dhunubana wa liwalidina warhamhum kama rabbawna sighara. اللهم اغفر لنا ذنوبنا ولإخواننا الذين سبقونا بالإيمان ولا تجعل في قلوبنا غلا للذين آمنوا ربنا إنك رؤوف رحيم اللهم إنا نعوذ بك من البرص والجنون والجزام ومن سيء الأسقام ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
آمين يا رب العالمين. جزاك الله خيرا كثيرا فضيلة الأستاذ شهرول. Brothers and sisters, congratulations. It is now official that you are a part of the IIUM family. On behalf of the organizing committee, we would like to welcome you to the Garden of Knowledge and Virtue. We hope that you have enjoyed the programs held throughout this Ta'aruf Week. May this Ta'aruf Week commemorate invaluable experience for all of you. But before we end our today's ceremony, I would like to request all students to fill up the online form as you can find through the link given below. Actually, that is the form for the oath declaration. To all students, please do not forget to visit the Pavilion website to visit the virtual booth exhibition. Also, do not forget to fill in the feedback form provided by the committees. But before we end, I would like to invite all audience, especially for the audience in the Zoom platform, please get ready for a photo shoot session with our VIPs. Okay, I think better I just say 1, 2, 3 before we take the photo session. Okay. Okay, get ready all. The audience in the platform, Zoom platform, and also our VIPs here. Can we start by 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you very much. With that note, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, with that I end our session with Tasbih Kafara and Surah Al-Asr. Wabillahi tawfiq wal hidayah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. The procession will now leave the hall.